Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
If you shave your cooch, but not your booty hole, is that the same as a mullet?
My tongue out her ass and left. I'm on TV! Oh shit! First cops, now this? Oh.
To see you this beautiful Tuesday morning. I don't know how many of you people, I'm sure you guys know Matt. I love Matt on this platform. I'm sure you guys know about Matt Thibodeau. I think I'm sure I butchered that poor boy's name. Hey Carla, it's nice to see you. Brooklyn, Jamie, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am over here this morning. Let me take this out of my ear. I'm over here this morning because we're going to be doing a live today on my YouTube channel. And it's going to be going over not just the America's Most Wanted information. We're going to be setting the stage before we go over to the America's Most Wanted clip from last night related to this case. It was about 10 minutes, and I'm absolutely confident all of the hate channels hated it, right? Because they're they're actively working to try to cover the butts of two people that have the most to gain and the most to lose by being complicit in this situation. So I anticipate a lot of bad actors, people that truly don't believe any of the experts, right? They don't believe any of the experts that ever say anything, right? It's all, well, why aren't they arrested yet? Why aren't they arrested yet? Well, anybody with a 5-year-old's brain can say that once you get to a certain extent, if you've been doing true crime for a long time, you will know if they don't make an immediate arrest, the chances of them making an arrest will not happen typically, especially in Tennessee without a body. So in Tennessee, the rule of thumb is just hide the body well, because the state of Tennessee really doesn't go looking for the children unless they can find the body. So with the lack of infrastructure in Tennessee, the fact that they can't use the normal data stuff that we here in Florida utilize a lot to find people, a lot of the children that are harmed by their parents or other people, if they can't find the body within a week, well, screw it. You know, the child's missing and they're not going to spend any of their money that they can't afford to spend because they don't have money. The state of Tennessee is broke. That's my it's either broke or they're just totally mismanaged. I don't know which. I really don't care. But we're going to be going over the America's Most Wanted clip, and we're also going to be providing supporting information because I'm going to make some bold stances on information based upon some of the statements made in the America's Most Wanted clip that we watched. I thought it was really good. A few of the things that are takeaways from the America's Most Wanted segment is that every single one of the experts that they brought up all agreed that there is foul play. This is the taboo language that Sumner County doesn't want us using because they're protecting, Chris and Katie. We can see it in every single move that they make, that they are assisting Chris and Katie as opposed to looking at them as persons of interest, even though Katie was the last person around her son and there's no evidence of him walking out of the home. There's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence that was washed away in the form of no evidence at all, which indicates to me somebody cleaned up. And that is a process and a problem that I have, that somebody cleaned up a situation. But what we're going to do is we're going to be going through, we're going to set up, set the stage before we go into the America's Most Wanted segment. And then we're going to provide supporting information and dissect that supporting information that was utilized in their assessment of this case to state that this is foul play. Not only foul play, but they believe somebody known to him. And this is critical because we know that this child was isolated. We know that this child was only around family. We know that the stepfather was abusive and controlling and locked him down where he had no underwear, only diapers. He had no ability to listen to social media or anything. He was the controller. And by God, it doesn't matter what the mom said or what the father said. Sebastian needs to come and talk to the stepdad if he's going to get his privileges back, because he's just that controlling. I'm telling you, if any man like that treated me, my child, or the child's other parent like that, any person did that, I would tell him to sit down and shut the F up. And that's exactly what Katie and Seth should have told that man a long time ago. And they did not. So we're going to break it down and we're going to look at this because it is my belief that whoever did this not only was known to Sebastian, but was ultra familiar with that home and that property. And we're going to go over why I believe that. And if you listen to the neighbors from the beginning of this case, one thing you will hear over and over again is that they didn't have a lot of company come and visit with them. They didn't have a lot of company, so who would know this? And there is one critical light in a very specific spot on that property that lets me know it's somebody that is ultra familiar with that property. So much so they can move comfortably at night. This is not some third party that's never been there before. And we're going to break it all down for you today on YouTube on Bullhorn Betty's main channel. And that is going to be starting in about 30 minutes. So if you guys would like to come over there and join me over on YouTube, we're going to break down this case. But I know that the people here on TikTok, they have a short time span. You guys want all the information crammed into 3 minutes or less. Well, this live's not going to be crammed into 3 minutes or less. If you come over and join me on the Bullhorn Betty channel, please grab yourself something to eat, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and come over and hang out, because we're going to break this case down. And like I said, it's going to be a lot longer than 3 minutes. We're going to probably be at an hour to an hour and a half by the time we are done with the show today. So I hope to see all you beautiful faces over on YouTube, the YT as Matt would say it, and hopefully have a great, well-rounded conversation and really have your opinions heard. So we'll see you in about 30 minutes. God bless each and every one of you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more important, kind to one another. God bless. See you over on the YT. Betty channel, where we are loud and proud, problematic women and men here fighting for the truth in our cases. So we've got the case of Sebastian Rogers. He's a 15-year-old autistic boy when he disappeared from his home on February 25th, 2024, and has not been seen or heard by a third party since around 6:30, 6:25 in the evening on the 25th. On the 26th, first thing in the morning, probably about 6:33 in the morning, a phone call came in that forever changed this community's world. Sebastian Rogers was missing. He has since turned 16. There's no evidence he ever walked out of his home. There's no evidence that he was seen by a third party or picked up on cameras. However, what was picked up on cameras that evening is two unknown people with flashlights walking through a common area on the side of the Proudfoot's home and leading to a vehicle. Those images had been enhanced. We see blobs. We saw a blob carrying something to a car. The blob and the stature appear to be very specific people that we all are known to. Before we start getting into the case of Sebastian Rogers and the America's Most Wanted, I'm going to say hi to you, and then we're going to take a few moments and learn a little bit about a very highly disturbing case here in the state of Florida. And it leads right into our domestic violence avocation. If you are in a domestic violence type of situation, please get help now. Get out now. Leave everything behind and leave. The most dangerous time in any domestic violence situation, whether it's for a man or a woman, is when they are leaving the domestic situation. So you need to have a plan in place. But my biggest statement I can say is when you have an opportunity to leave, you leave. You cut ties. That means all of your belongings, all of your prized possessions, right? Are those prized possessions worth your life? Sometimes you need to break it down just like that. Is it worth your life? If you have an opportunity to go to the grocery store with your children, don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. If your significant other is very familiar with your family, find extended family or friends they don't know about. Somebody will be willing to help. If you can't find help through family or friends, there are organizations that will help hide you and get you safe. If you have questions, please reach out to Bullhorn Betty at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. This is going to bother a lot of my parents here, right here. This is where we're going to be going next. So since we already have a lot of people in chat, I'm just going to start with Sonia. We got Chaos Bunny in the house, then Sonia and the Real Me Too. I know B Betty fan and the rest of the mod squads around here somewhere, whether they're in the bushes or out here saying hi to you. So a big shout out to my mod squad. Please don't forget to tell my mod squad thank you. They have been through hell and back with me just to support this channel, and they deserve a lot of love and appreciation as well, because they sometimes go through more than I do. I tune it out. They have to deal with it. So thank you to all my mod squads for being here. We have Shauna. It's nice to see you. Lori, Denise, Sadie from across the pond saying, I believe it's 100% foul play. I agree with you. Our beautiful Outer Banks, Josie in Australia. It's nice to see you. VA, it's good morning to you. Our beautiful Melanie is up in the house. Common sense, a big dose of it this morning we're going to need. So good morning to you. Rain, good morning. This is the Breaks. It's nice to see you as well. Caroline, good morning. Who else do we have? Jacqueline, it's nice to see you. Me and you. Karen, good morning. YouTuber, it's nice to see you as well. Little Orange Man, Mama Bear, it's nice to see you. Snow Feathers, Busy Mama, Erna, wait, what? Good morning. This is the Breaks. I think I already said hi to you. Lisa B. Always jump the ditch. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to be seen here. We're going to be breaking it all down for you guys today. So I hope you guys are ready. Please get your coffee or a snack or both. We're going to be here for a little moment. Sorta Morta's up in the house. Good morning. It's nice to see you. Nani, it's nice to see you. If you guys didn't have an opportunity, we do run another channel. It's called Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We were live there this morning before we came live over here. If you haven't had an opportunity to sign up over there, please consider subbing up. We're about 1,500 away from our 10,000 person goal, or 10,000 subscriber goal, rather. Mary, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Nancy, it's nice to see you as well. I have to tell you, Betty, I was a little disappointed because I feel they could have told a little more about Sebastian's story. I agree with that, but I understand it too, because I'm a content creator. I've prepared and helped prepare documentary type of footage and stuff like that. I've been on documentaries. Typically the documentaries I've been on have been, for one specific case. In this particular situation, they had 3 different cases. So they had to fit the story into the segment that they had available to them to cover the story. And based upon looking at it from that lens, I think that they did get a lot of the important stuff into their segment. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Did they get enough important information? They got enough important information. I think the issue is they didn't show enough of the information to the public. They kind of explained it like with the lights. I think they only showed a little bit. We'll go through it a little bit. I agree with you, but it's still a talking point. It's still on there in front of people that have never heard about this case, that are going to be plugging in and learning a little more about Sebastian Rogers' case. they were they brought up a lot of theories, and I understand why they brought up a lot of theories. It's because there's nothing solid right now. And, when you're talking about a case, just like we talk about a case on this platform, we, especially at the very beginning, the first time we touch it, we spit out, 6 to a baker's dozen theories out there, and through our processes we start, once we start getting more information, we're able to eliminate this, we're able to eliminate that, we're able to eliminate this. So they, as a America's Most Wanted, are not in the position to eliminate possibilities. They are only able to provide, based upon all of the factual information, what could possibly happen. So, to be honest with you, in the 10 minutes or 12 minutes segment that they had designated to Sebastian, I think they were able to be very impactful in the limited time the slot that they had available, in my opinion. I would have loved to hear more of the interview with Seth and more of the interview with the mom and the stepfather. We don't get that opportunity because they cut it all to hell, as you guys could tell. So hopefully, maybe in a time in the future, they might be able to release the whole interview to the world. We don't know if and when they will be willing to do that, but I know public pressure of releasing the entire interview does help. That's how we were able to get the WSMV video that was more, their segment was only like 3 minutes, and then they ended up putting the entire interview out to the world because of the overwhelming request to do so, and they did. So sometimes you can, if a lot of people reach out, it could help them release more of that interview. But again, it's America's Most Wanted. Would they be willing to do that? I don't know. Must have got lost. It's nice to see you. Adriana, it's nice to see you. I think I said hi to you, Lisa B. Always, but if I didn't, good morning. D. Green, in my opinion, though, I'm glad it was on America's Most Wanted. I feel it was too short and they didn't have all the info. I agree. But I think it was good. They did cover a lot. So we're going to go ahead and move on in because we're already 22 minutes into the show. Everybody that I missed and I wasn't able to say hi to you, good morning. Thank you for being here. I'm Bullhorn Betty. This is the Bullhorn Betty channel, where we try to break down these cases. We're provided very limited information. We use deductive reasoning, problem solving, as well as common sense to help weed us through the sea of misinformation and disinformation to find the true facts of cases. We have a great batting average on this channel, despite what you may have heard from other people's channels. We typically go out boots on the ground and acquire a mass amount of information from the locals and the people involved in these cases, either on the outskirts or literally right on in. This is a case that I got involved in after Riley Strain because there were some things that weren't right, and I was praying almost on a daily basis that what I was seeing and what I was feeling was not going to be accurate, that there's no way the mom and the stepfather could have done something to a child, that this is a horrible misunderstanding. And here we are 14 months later, and there's nothing more in my mind than just wanting to make sure that the mom and stepdad are held accountable for their actions, because we see. And once you know, and they're trying to make us believe that what we're seeing and what we're hearing is not the truth. They are trying to be illusionist and disillusionist. They're delusional, period. These people that they're working with are delusional to think that this child just walked out of the home despite all of the information law enforcement has given us to the contrary. But we know this child did not walk out of his home. So this is the case that I wanted to touch base with you on. This happened in Florida. This is a really sad story of a 3-year-old that was walking around an apartment complex that had dried blood on her face and her clothes. And At the time, I think the grandmother may have been at the scene, but law enforcement was called nonetheless. And they went inside the apartment to check on the mother. The mother was not there. And then they ended up locating the mother's car where she was stabbed to death. And they believe her 3-year-old child witnessed it. This is the animal that did it. This was her ex-boyfriend. This wasn't even the child's father. The child was left unharmed, thank God. We've heard other situations where the child was equally harmed. And so we're very grateful today that this child was left alone and was not harmed, but this man is a monster and unalived that little child's mother in front of her face. And I hope that it being here in my state, I absolutely do not believe in putting these animals behind bars for life. Yeah, we want them to think about what they did, but I'm not willing to pay $100,000 a head for him to think about what he did. I'm sorry. If he's not going to get out, if it's DP, I'm perfectly fine with that. Many of you guys know my stance on it. I know it doesn't bode with maybe your stance, but it is my stance. I'm an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth type of person, and I do not lose sleep at night when somebody takes a life and they have to lose their life. As a matter of fact, I support it 100%, and I will continue to do so until the day I die. These people are monsters. If they can do it to somebody that they love, they can do it to your family. That's the way I look at it. Would you like this guy living next to you? Would you like to know that he's next to your grandchildren and children? Because I certainly do not. Okay? I'm not one of these people that wear my heart on my sleeve. Some people love me. Some people hate me because of it. I don't really care. My viewpoints is if you can be so inhumane to take a life, why is it the rest of the world's responsibility to be humane with your life? It's very simple. I'm one of those people that really, truly believe I'm a brutal and a barbaric woman. I would be comfortable. If you stab somebody, that's the way you should be executed. If you shoot somebody, that's the way you should be executed. Once convicted, and go through the process if you are in a DP state. That's just my personal viewpoints on the situation. But I wanted to bring to you that this lady had left. Okay, she had left her abusive ex, and he found her. And guess what? She did have a restraining order on him. It didn't help. It didn't help. So the people that want to really hurt somebody can absolutely hurt somebody. Before we get started too much more, I want you guys to hear this because we're going to have a conversation on it, and then our story is going to begin.
A few minutes ago, you asked what harm has... Go ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye. Carlin, my name is Texina Fernandez. A few minutes ago, you asked what harm has come to Sebastian from the Green Team. Well, I'm a representative for ADA.
That right there is a lady by the name, I'm not even going to say, we're going to say TF, okay? Truly effed. But this truly effed person is trying to say that she represents ADA and she's suing the father because of some type of Americans with Disabilities Act. First and foremost, I want to clarify something to everybody on this platform. There's such things called standing, okay? And having merit to your case. When you are not a representative, you have no fiduciary responsibility, you have no contract with somebody, you have no, you don't know these people, you can't go to a court and represent them, okay? You have literally no binding to any of these people. It's like Lisa B. Always. You get robbed, okay? Let me just explain this for everybody to understand it. You get robbed, right? And I call the police from my state and say that this robbery happened in your state, but I'm filing the report because I represent all victims of robbery. So I'm going to file the report and you're going to act on my behalf. And I'm going to go to court and testify against a guy that robbed Lisa B. Always in a completely different state. So this truly effed person from Texas that's suing Seth is trying to say she has standing because she's a representative of ADA. She has no standing. She's not associated with any other person. And by her going to a private business, and which none of us even spoke to her, everybody was telling me there was a crazy lady with a camera, and I'm like, where? You know, I'm looking around, and they're like, the girl with the white hair. I'm like, there's a lot of people with white hair. Who are you talking about? Like, you didn't see her with all the cameras? I'm like, no, I didn't see her with all the cameras, you know? So, and I know Seth didn't, because we're both sitting back there scratching our head, like wondering who they were talking about. Like, don't worry, if they've got her gone. They kicked her out. And it was because she was being, using abusive language. She told several people she wanted to get close enough to me to punch me in my face. People aren't going to stick around for that. And people are not going to allow you to be at their establishment when you're being abusive and looking for a fight. So there was all justifications to throw her out. But anyways, the long story short is she's basically saying, I represent ADA. I'm from Texas, don't know these people, but I'm going to file a suit on their behalf. That's what she is basically saying here. She's not going to go anywhere for this. This is malicious prosecution. And Seth, if you are watching, you or Tony, I hope you guys take her to the woodshed, lawfully and legally, just like Dog the Bounty Hunter says, right? Because this is malicious. She has no standing, and this is malicious prosecution. So I hope part of your motion to dismiss is also for punitive damages, because she's done this for nothing more than try to make a name for herself at the expense of a father that has a missing child. She has no standing. She has no merit to her case, and she's not associated with anybody she's saying she's representing. And she doesn't have a contract with Sebastian Rogers, which is an underage kid. She can't represent him. If his mommy and daddy ain't representing him, she's got no standing to represent him. She's a complete buffoon with mental issues that she's wrote books about. She's not disabled. She's mentally effed up. Plain and simple. So that's enough for that. And I just wanted to make sure you guys had that information. Now we are officially rolling into the show. Here's the back information that you guys need to hear.
Do we have an estimated time of start for the search process?
Call came in at 6:33 this morning.
Great, thank you.
Good evening, Team Juvenile, 1008 Temper Court, 1008 Temper Court, Hendersonville. Caller advised this morning they woke up and their 15-year-old girl was not in their bed. Medium white male, 3 blonde hair, approximately 5 foot, 120 pounds. I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt and black sweatpants. Juvenile does have a form of autism. This is the first time it happened. I was going to be in the home before midnight. All the doors are locked at this time.
Just warm her out.
47. I asked the call taker to ask if the juvenile has a phone. Break. Central to 68. I am Mrs. Fire Call.
Yes.
Central to 47, 184 and 12. Juvenile left his son at the house. The mother is driving around looking for him in a Victoria Place subdivision, and she is driving a baby blue Infiniti.
I'm in the area. Check long hauls out, just same way.
You can take me off the assist fire. I'll be en route to the missing juvenile.
Next big track back up, going into the construction site over here, back towards the beach.
That's important behind you. It's awful muddy. Do you see any footprints, anything? You shouldn't have any shoes on.
Yeah, yeah, this is all dry, hard packed. I do have some footprints over here.
Right there where you're standing?
Hey, Andrea. Thank you, love.
Yeah, leading right over here to the retaining pond.
No shoes, just footprints?
The shoes that Max went straight into the pond. Max led me straight to the retaining pond. Over behind Willow Boulevard, he dove right into the water.
Have you seen any footprints around it?
There was a few footprints in some of the softer dirt, headed straight this way on the track that he was running.
1247, what kind of shoes does he wear? Size 10. 12 to any units that are going to be assisting with 1008. Please come to 1008 Stafford Court now, please.
So that was courtesy of Smiley's Stories World. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out Smiley's Stories World, please consider doing that. Now, we have the full episode, if I can get this thing to work, the full episode of the America's Most Wanted. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to clear all this stuff up because it just lags my system out when I have too much open. So we're going to go through this, but we're not going through all of it. There's only certain key pieces of information that I want to hear. And one, okay, let's go back right there.
Hey, missing juvenile. We are white male, 3 blonde hair, approximately 5 foot, 120 pounds. I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants. Juvenile does have a form of autism.
All right, let's get past that.
Less amounts of energy. Sebastian reminds me of a deer prancing through the woods, you know, enjoying the smell, the breeze, new things. That's my son.
Look at him. Okay? He's talking about Sebastian. He's talking, his whole entire commentary is about his son. This man has been put through a meat grinder. He's been called a pedo, a murderer, an artist, right? An SAer. All of these horrible things that affect him at his job at the jail. What do you think people in prison do to pedos? Right? They tried. Hey, who's your mama? It's nice to see you. They tried to destroy this man. Do you think he comes up on any interview and says, "Oh my gosh, you know, the opinions of people, of course we're getting attacked, I'm getting attacked on a daily basis. I've been called this, I've been called that, I've been done this, and this." Do you think you hear that from this man right here? If you don't know who this man is, this is Seth Rogers. This is dad. This is Sebastian's dad. This is the only person that has been searching for him since the day he disappeared. Law enforcement gave up. The mom and stepfather gave up before the case even started. They ran away from home. But this man right here has been there through thick and thin, through hell or high water, unearthing any and all information related to his son. And he still has the ability to speak highly of his son and keep it focused on his son. You're truly going to see two different personalities on here. One that is seeking a child and one that is trying to pose as there's nothing to see over here. And you see it clear as day in this America's Most Wanted missing persons footage.
February 25th, the day before Sebastian went missing. Chris was in Memphis at work. So Sebastian and I...
It's so important to make sure he was at work. Isn't it funny how they want to make sure he is the furthest person away? Yet he's the only person that has never provided us his alibi. Katie's provided us her alibi. Seth has even produced work records, like physical work records to show his alibi to the world. But these two people are elusive. Chris and Katie Proudfoot are elusive. Why? She was the last person to see her son alive, and you are looking at the images. Her and her alone. Now, mind you, this woman is military trained. She's retired Navy, and she has MMA training, mixed martial arts training. I want you guys to understand who Katie Proudfoot is. She is a strong woman that knows what she is doing. Highly educated, military trained. She knows how to protect herself, how to protect her son. She doesn't need a man to help her. She could probably take Chris down. Probably why she doesn't have more bruises on her than she does. Just a thought.
Went to Texas Roadhouse. After dinner, right around 9 o'clock, he laid down. I heard a noise in his room. I said, I don't care what you're doing, but you got to knock it off and you got to go to bed. And
Wow, that is like the 5th or 6th rendition of that very specific event. Now, mind you, this is the last time she's ever spoken to her son again, according to her statement. And she can't remember the last words spoken to him or him spoken to her because they keep changing from interview to interview. This specific statement changes. I want you to pay attention to this man right here. This man right here. I want you to now start going back to all of the interviews that they do. All of them. The one thing you will always see Chris do is side-eye Katie when he's sitting next to her and she's speaking. He side-eyes her. He is literally taking his eyes and watching her lips. He's doing it here too. And I want you guys to pay attention to it because he does this in every single interview. And to me, it gives the appearance that he's making sure she's sticking to the script. Watch him. And then go back and compare it to other interviews for yourself. His eyes right here. They're right here. They're not looking down this way. They're looking over this way. And he does that a lot in these interviews.
he answered, yes, ma'am. And I said, okay.
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes.
That was the last time that I spoke with Sebastian. The next morning, when I went in his room, he wasn't in his bed. After a minute or two, when I couldn't find him, I called Chris and I said,
now it's down to a minute or two. The original statement was 3 minutes. Then on Chronicles of Olivia, it was a minute flat. Now it's 2 to 3 minutes, or 1 to 2 minutes.
I can't find Sebastian. He's not in the house.
I got off of work and I had a text message from Sebastian's stepfather.
I said, hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but...
That is not what he said. I don't know how to tell you this. No, his very first word was, don't be mad. Don't be mad. Your son is missing.
Sebastian, you're missing.
I headed straight over to their house.
I started driving through the neighborhood. I was panicking. I was looking everywhere. Like, where is he? What happened? Did he go with someone? Did someone take him? By the time I pulled into the school, Christopher was already telling me to turn around because the authorities were on their way.
As a matter of fact, 8 seconds before 911 was called, she was on Kellen. She was on Kellen because we have an image of her in her car with no window roll down, no phone in her hand. Now, granted, she could have Bluetooth. It could have been going on in the car. But she's lying here because she says she was at the school when she was told to turn around and go home. But that is not true. She was on the road 8 seconds before that call came in her own neighborhood. In her own neighborhood. So I'm pretty sure law enforcement knows that that information is inaccurate because they know exactly when she pulled into the school. They watched her drive all the way back toward Warsham's And then all of a sudden, a minute or two later, she is flying like a race car driver through the school. Now, mind you, there could have been kids there, but she didn't care. Driving like a bat out of hell and back to the house. It was a little wild.
They used helicopters, they used drones, they used ATVs, horseback.
An extensive search didn't yield one significant lead or even
an extensive search. I want you guys to listen to that. An extensive search that didn't produce one single lead.
They used helicopters, they used drones, they used ATVs, horseback.
An extensive search didn't yield one significant lead or
not one significant lead. A child leaves home barefoot and not one speck of his scent left anywhere. I want that to resonate in your brain.
Even a glimpse of the boy on any doorbell cam video. Days later, investigators combed through a landfill, still saying they had found nothing.
We do not believe they found nothing. I truly believe nothing led to the whereabouts of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, exactly what they said. Nothing to lead to his whereabouts. But we went back and we've analyzed several videos from this day from a bunch of different reporters that were at this Kentucky landfill. We went back and analyzed their footage and analyzed their statements. And it is my belief, oh, Lady for Justice, thank you. I'll come up to a stopping point right after this little piece here, and we'll thank everybody that's sponsored the show. So I appreciate all your love and support. Know that 100% of your donations in this chat, as well as on the PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and GoFundMe, are 100% going to attorney fees, and only attorney fees, because they're pretty extensive. But I wanted to say here that this landfill, I do believe, after reviewing all the footage of the news reporters, that there was something that they took. They did take something out of that landfill. We don't know what, but there were items removed. Okay? I believe that 100% above anything else. These, there was something, I don't know what, because there was two different reporters, two different ones, that indicated law enforcement taking what they found for processing. And so that tells me that something came out of that landfill. I don't know if it's a mattress. I think a mattress, who's that? Criminal Theory in Action. Thank you for that question. It could be. Now, understand that I don't have a crystal ball and I don't know, but the way everything sounded is it didn't sound like it was a large item. It sounded like it was something smaller, garbage, like that could be bagged up. But again, I'm not out there. We don't know what they have. We do know that there was a mattress in their garage, and that alleged mattress is supposed to be for Faith, allegedly, or something to that effect. Or that was a new mattress for Sebastian's bed. Allegedly, he kept wetting. Maybe they needed to replace it. I don't know. It's a little sus to me. But I do believe they did garner something out of this, because I never understood why they didn't stay there and go through it more. And it's my opinion, they either found what they were looking for, or they thought they were going to find something else and didn't want to keep looking for it. But I'd have to believe that if law enforcement was looking for something specific and they still had a mountain of stuff to go through, they would have went through that mountain of stuff to find that something. So by them being done after day 3, I feel like they found what they were looking for. I'm sorry, I just do.
We have nothing. We just have speculations. We get criticized. The father.
There it is. There it is. There it is. We have a man that's more focused on himself and his wife than anybody else. It's like every single of you, they forget they have a 16-year-old boy missing that's been missing for over a year, and God knows what he's going through. But good God, this man can't get off the fact that the whole world thinks him and his wife are guilty. Well, if you didn't act like this and didn't make it about yourself, maybe the public opinion might be different. But continuing to do the same things over and over again, that is the reason why we think you're the guilty as shit, or they're guilty as shit, right? They keep doing it over and over and over again. This is not about them two. This is about this boy right here. And every opportunity they have to make it about this boy, it comes right back to them. Right back to them. Never flipping fails. Right back to them. It's sick. To me, this is sick. They can't figure out why everybody is looking at them like a suspect. When every time they open their blessed mouth, it's about them. Nobody gives a shit about them. We only care about the 16-year-old boy that's missing. Let's bring him home before we worry about military-trained parents' feelings, okay? I have to think that part of that military training taught them how to buckle up, Buttercup. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe our military's a bunch of pansies. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we spend billions of dollars a year to teach men and women to be pansies. Maybe that's it. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Let's listen to it instead of it being about Sebastian. Now remember, this is the missing person case of Sebastian Rogers, not the whiny, complaining parents about their feelings. But, you know, when it comes to a PUSSY, like Christopher Proudfoot, it's all about his girly feelings.
Still saying they had found nothing.
Here we go.
We have nothing. We just have speculations. We get criticized. The father gets criticized.
Why does the father get criticized, Mr. Proudfoot? I'd like him to answer that, but he probably won't. I bet you none of the creators that he talks to or speaks about will ask him that. Why is Seth being criticized? You want to know why? Because these two people you see on your screen right now decided to lay in bed with felons and drug addicts that like to protect guilty parents. Why would two parents that are missing a child go to content creators that protect bad people? Does that make the whole world think that they're innocent when they go and lay in bed with the ugliest, most vile creatures on these streets that don't mind wielding their criminality toward judges, toward people, stalking people, ripping their lives apart? These people brought those people into the world of Seth Rogers because of their feelings, because everybody's looking at them. Wah, wah. Let's listen to their feelings again. Why not?
We just have speculations. We get criticized. The father gets criticized. Law enforcement's been criticized.
Online sleuths are really analyzing videos and creating their own theories.
Sebastian is putting something in his pocket.
Surveillance footage from a neighbor shows two people outside of Sebastian's house that night.
Boom. And she's absolutely right.
Something happened.
Tonight marks 1 year since Sebastian Rogers disappeared near Beach High School in Sumner County.
My life is not the same without my son.
Oh, you mean out of all the crap Seth is going through, he's not talking about his feelings? He's not talking about social media's criticism of him? We've listened to him be put through a meat grinder, a lot worse than the parents we suspect of doing something to this child. I can guarantee that. Yet he hasn't brought up one thing he has gone through searching for his son, even though we've watched it unfold here on social media. You don't hear him talking about himself or his freaking feelings. I like Christina too. But you don't hear Seth talking about or getting in his feelings. Only the military trained pansies. Only the military trained pansies. What a disgrace to the military those two people are.
Tonight marks 1 year since Sebastian Rogers disappeared near Beach High School in Sumner County.
My life is not the same without my son. He's not here, and he's somewhere.
Now, we just heard his statement. Now let's go back to mom and dad's statement. Let's listen to their statement compared to Seth's statement.
We have nothing. We just have speculations. We get criticized. The father gets criticized. Law enforcement's been criticized.
Online sleuth.
All right. So now let's go back to the father. Let's go back to the father and see if he's bitching about everything he's gone through. Law enforcement ain't bitching about what they're going through. Seth ain't bitching about what he's going through. Hell, I'm not bitching about what I'm going through. But two military-trained pansies are complaining about what they're going through on the heels of their missing child. Sick and twisted.
Same without my son. He's not here, and he's somewhere. Someone has him.
This year has been the worst nightmare I could have imagined to come alive.
Just whoever has him, just give him back. He's my son.
Never once heard those statements ever come out of the military-trained pansy's mouth. This father's broken and he wants answers for his son. He ain't complaining about the meat grinder he's going through. He will go through 1,000 meat grinders to find his blessed son instead of complaining about his pansy-ass feelings, like the mom and stepdad.
Wow, that dad. You can feel it. So we want to talk about theories now, Payne, and what might have happened with Sebastian. What are your thoughts?
I mean, here's his house. They searched miles outside of that neighborhood for days. Helicopters on the ground. They even drained a lake. He's nowhere. I don't think Sebastian would have gone outside on his own. There's someone else involved here.
There's someone else involved here. Now, we're going to stop it there because I got a lot of stuff to present to you. We're already at 57 minutes in the show. So all of the experts from the 4 panelists, including the host, agree there's foul play. Okay? Now let's break this down to the foul play element. Okay? What was the reasoning for their foul play assessment? And it comes down to this video right here. You guys may recognize this video. This is the lights video that was produced by Nick Barris on the 14th of March, 2024. This is why people believe there is foul play. Because there's a flashlight and there's a flashlight. Now, these two flashlights go to a vehicle that was on the corner of Stafford and Kellen. Now, this car, in my opinion, willfully and deliberately tried to stay out of the view of any cameras. The camera on the outside of the house that they parked on, across the street, they kind of parked closer to Kellen. Why? Because there was an exterior camera that pointed to a boat in the front yard of this particular house. These people were concerned about their boat. It seemed like their boat is valuable to them. They put a camera up and pointed this camera right at their boat. It was to monitor their boat. And now, granted, it did get a lot of the vehicles that they had in it. But one thing you don't see from the angle of that camera, I've seen the camera myself. I videotaped the camera myself. And it looks like it's like a camera about this long. It's attached to the side of the house, and it comes out and it kind of angles down at the boat. So it looks like the direction is straight. It doesn't look like it has any preview around here, but it does. And so that camera was able to catch this car that was intentionally and willfully trying to stay out of that camera's angle, in my opinion. So what does that tell you? Just in that action alone, that somebody is familiar with that community and intentionally and willfully tried to not be picked up on cameras. This is not somebody that's coming into the neighborhood for the first time. This is somebody that's well-versed in this neighborhood. Moreover, this image right here, let me just back it up just so I can get the... Oh, it's not moving for me. Hold on. Where's the second light? There it is. So right here. Now, when the mob crew did this overlay, this image right here was past the rut, which is right about here. Okay? This is a little creek drainage right here. And this person is in the other person's yard. This right here is the lights that are on there's a house that's right on the corner. Like the Stafford has a little curve. It's a dead-end road. As you go up, it's a cul-de-sac. But as you're at that bend, there's one house, and they leave all of their garage lights on. And so this is the ambience from those garage lights peeking through the bushes to the camera that picked up these two lights here. Now, like I said, there is a ditch that kind of is like an S shape right about here. And what do you notice about suspect one? Suspect one is over the ditch. It's pitch black out here. It's not really pitch black. There's ambient light, and you can see because I drove it. But somebody, in order for him to be over here, he would have had to walk down down the Sebastian's home along the gate and around. And that's why you saw when he was over here, the lights kind of flickering on and off before he came through here. Same with this one. This one here came out in a peculiar spot. Again, somebody that is familiar with this common area. Look how dark it is. Do you think strangers to this community are going to be able to pull this off, or know where to walk, or know where to park? Sebastian's room was on the opposite side of the home than these two lights. Wouldn't they found another way to come in and take him? If it wasn't people familiar with this home, this common area, and where to park? Let's listen. I just lost my audio. Give me a second, y'all. My audio and my video does that sometimes. It does that sometimes.
Two lights, looking at the road. Well, one light was looking towards the driveway, but the floodlight obviously was facing more towards the street, which I think panicked them.
Now, I want you to think about this. This car was parked right about here. Excuse me, I'm up too far. Right about there. Okay? This car was intentionally trying to stay away from this house's camera. How would some stranger know to park here? How would some stranger in pitch black know that this right here has a camera angling this way? They thought this camera angling this way, they were out of the view of that camera being here. Just my opinion.
And I think then that changed the plan. And if you look, 270 feet, I don't have the measurement, but it's literally like right here. People saw it earlier. I just had the lineup. I don't know why it disappeared. But anyway, it said it was approximately 270 feet, which...
Look at that. It's on this side of the ditch. It's on this side of the ditch. Now let's go back to Smiley's Stories world. Hold on.
Central to 47-180, Warren 12. 2 miles left his son at the house. The mother is driving around looking for him in the Victoria Place subdivision, and she is driving.
Right here. Okay? Do you see this? Let me see if I can blow this up. So the only way you can really get past that without jumping through the ditch is walking down their fence right here and behind it through the trees. This is right here something that a third party would not know how to do. Wouldn't think about going down this fence line, except people that know where the cameras are in the neighborhood. They would trying to keep themselves off cameras. So they would probably go down the side of this. Let's see if we can find a little bit place, something.
In a baby blue Infinity.
I'm in the area. Check long haul out, just same way.
Okay, let me get this down just a little bit more so I can find where I'm looking for. There was a perfect spot, a perfect shot on the outside of that house that said everything I wanted it to say, and I think it was up here. I think it's right there. Right there. See it? There's a walk spot right by this fence that gets them around the ditch and out on this side over here. See that little white satellite? If you take their fence and walk right down straight it, you'll get past these trees and this, whatever it's called, you know, the little tube that comes out of the ground, culvert, the culvert. So you got a culvert here, a ditch that kind of runs through the backside of this property. And the only way you can really get down it without having to jump in it is walking down this fence line around these trees. And once you're around the trees, you're on the other side of the ditch. So tell me, who do you know that would know that? I didn't know that until I looked at it, but I was looking at a different angle because I thought they came out on the other side. But now I really truly believe they got on this side somehow. And it always makes me wonder if that secret door has access to the inside of their home, say in their master closet, because it is a big crawl space. That is a larger crawl space. Most crawl spaces are like a 12 by 12. This one is like, I don't know, like 18 or 20 inches by 36. I mean, it's a large door on the side of their house. And I keep wondering, you know, some people have crawl spaces. The majority of people have crawl spaces with access to the inside of their home. And I've always been trying to figure out how they got on this side of the house without walking around the front. Because there's only one gate that I can find on this fence, and that's over by where they park all the vehicles. This side doesn't have one. So the only way they can be outside of this gate, in my opinion, is to crawl over the gate or have some type of interior access that leads out to this side of the house. And the only place that I can see that leads outside of this house is that crawl space. So I'm still trying to make heads or tails of that in and of itself.
Is where I believe they ended up diverting between the two homes. So, and we'll do more stuff. So anyway, continuing on. So
that's really all I wanted from that clip. There's something in this clip that I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, this is the clip that I wanted to show you because it shows you where the dot is. Look at the ditch. Look at the ditch. And look where the dot is. You know how they could get over here? By walking straight down their gate. That's how they can do that. Or having to walk through this huge ditch in the middle of the night without being able to see. But they did have flashlights, so maybe they did jump the ditch. But either way, who would know this makeup? Who? At the end of the day, this child was isolated. Whether or not he had access to internet previously or not, he wasn't active on the internet, at least from what I could catch, at least a year. He has been forced not to participate in any social media. And everybody's like, oh, well, you know, this, that, and the other. I don't agree. I don't agree. He was searching for things online, which is why he lost his online privileges. We heard it was because he was looking up information about being bullied. And I think that was a direct result of the actions and the behaviors that he was receiving at the hands of his mother and stepfather. So we have that one. I did want to show you that one because it shows exactly where the dot is. Now, this is a question or a statement. It says, excuse me, give me just a second. It says, I believe they absolutely use Kentucky's electronic tracking dog, and I believe it absolutely was Kentucky State Police that got the warrant to search there. The DA of Sumner County stated to Nick Barris there was no probable cause for him to seek a warrant in Sebastian's case. That means that the DA did not seek warrants for anything in this case. They had to ask the police in a different state to get a warrant to search the landfill because the DA in Sumner County did not seek any such warrant. I'm not sure if I believe that because the way law enforcement processes information and the way they have to do it is them pulling phone records. They need a warrant. They need a subpoena or a warrant. All the stuff that they do, they have to be able to, and not only that, but the standard protocol, even when they go into the house and search and have the parents, allow them to search and sign that form, they still work behind the scenes to get a warrant to search that home. Why? Because the parents at any time can stop that search. And so they always want you, law enforcement, the attorneys, the state prosecutors, they all want you having search warrants and subpoenas to get the information so they have a paper trail for the information. I don't know any law enforcement agent that can just go into a landfill and search it without a proper warrant. Even if they were allowed to go in, they need a proper warrant. There she is. I actually have you up. Where are you? There it is. I was going to tell, it's already up because I was going to talk about you today, Medic Biker, and I wanted to tell everybody to keep Medic Biker in your thoughts and prayers because she just had a knee replacement. I don't know how she's going to survive, but she's going to survive just fine. So far, she's saying no pain yet, but it may start up tomorrow. And that's why I told you, if you're supposed to take your medication every 4 hours, don't allow the pain to seep in before you take your medication. That is one thing my best friend told me. She said, take your medication on time, every time, because once the pain is out of control, it's hard to control it. So just FYI, but we're glad the surgery went well, Medic Biker. And this is a great segue for me to stop and thank all of the people in the chat. Holly S., thank you for the super sticker. Melanie saying, Betty, thank you for what you do and your amazing You're amazing. Much love to you and everyone. Thank you. Melanie gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Melanie thank you. And whoever received that Bullhorn Betty membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket and your padded room. Varisha says she is going to do her MN, which I think is Minnesota Police, and maybe it's a different police department, application. We can always use good law enforcement out there in this world. Chaos Bunny reminding us that although Chris decided to give away all of Sebastian's underwear, he must have given his away as well, leaving only Katie's underwear available for him to wear his cheeky boy shorts under his jeans. It's a little weird, but hey, people have weird fetishes. Men like to wear women's underwear and act like a hard ass and get the ladies' underwears pictured because it's going up the crack of their butt. I'm not going to tell anyone. Except the whole world. Especially if you're missing a child from your home. I gotta be honest with you, Betty. I wish they would have shown more of Seth. My heart breaks for him. I agree. I wish, to be honest with you, I know Seth is innocent in all of this. I want to see more Chris and Katie. I want to hear more of their statements. I want to analyze more of their statements because I know that they have leaked something valuable out there to the people. Chris is too much of a hothead, and when he is on a roll, especially when he's angry, we need to find all those videos. If you find a video where Chris is losing his shit, send the URL to me, the full URL to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, because we want it's in their frustration. It's when he allows himself to lose all control of himself. That's when we're going to get the pay dirt. That's when we're going to get the pay dirt. It's not when he's prepared. It's when he's unprepared. It's when he goes off on these cockamamie, blab whatever, How long had CP had been a crane operator? 1 month at St. Jude's. KK referred to CP at Chris and Christopher in the AM. Not my husband. Interesting. They're having marital problems. Long before this child disappeared. They were married on Valentine's Day. We have no evidence they even celebrated their last anniversary together, despite Sebastian being with his father the weekend after their anniversary. We've watched them in every single video. They won't touch each other. The only time Chris looks at her way is when he's side-eyeing her, like I showed you there. You can go back and check all the other videos to confirm the information I'm saying is true, accurate, and correct. He is always side-eyeing her when she is speaking. He seems nervous. If you ask me, he's side-eyeing her because he's scared that she might accidentally mess something up. He looks nervous when he's looking at her and she's speaking. But you never see them console each other. You never see them hugging each other. You never see them outside of the hands video and that monstrosity that Holly Thompson tried to put together as, them holding hands at the end. It was so staged. And why Holly Thompson would do that, I don't understand. But she had to put that in there to help them. And I think anybody that's going to help these pieces of garbage are not good people. Okay? I don't really care for Holly Thompson. What can I say? I don't care for her. She seems like a nice lady, but you know what? I want a strong woman that does investigative research, not just just throws willy-nilly anything that they breathe. She won't cover Seth. So clearly she's got something in it with them. And you know what? And I also find it funny that she's BFFs with Judge Ron Blanton. Seems like this whole network of people surrounding the Proudfoots. Nothing to see over here. No corruption whatsoever. None. Okay. So they don't touch each other. They don't console each other. And they don't, the only time Chris talks about his wife and his stepson is when he's trying to possess them, when he's trying to have the control over him and over them, in my opinion. in my opinion. This is the breaks, says, and familiar with the exits out of the area with no camera. Great perspective. Outer Banks gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, please don't forget to tell Outer Banks thank you. And for those that received your Bullhorn Betty membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room and welcome aboard. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Our beautiful Andrea's up in the house. I hope that Greece trip is amazing. I am so jealous watching and looking at all your pictures, but I do feel like I visited Greece, right? I feel like I've been there, done that now. So thank you for that. Thank you. Andrea, it's always so nice to see you. Summer's Army, good morning from Canada. It's nice to see you, my love. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting our beautiful children of our country and advocating for them. Thank you, Summer's Army. Lady for Justice, super stickers. Thank you so much. Oh, I missed Veronica. Well, good morning, Veronica. I didn't even see you there. Seth has his Sebastian shirt on. Seth truly loves, and the other stories change again. KNC, where is Sebastian? In my opinion, we all the way home. We all the way home. Yeah, I know. 2 parents, you know what? The one thing I can tell you is that anybody that's in trouble always runs away from home. Okay? They always run away. They run away from their problems. And who has ran away? We've had Katie run away from home. Chris run away from home. Hell, we even had law enforcement run away. We sure did. We've had law enforcement run away. Sumner County, in my opinion, until I see something, I'm going to say they ain't doing shit, because from where I'm standing, they ain't doing shit. We're here almost 15 months later, and we have not had one single independent search in any other location for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers outside of the piddly week they gave this poor boy to search for him. Nothing. Oh, we're going to the investigative side. All right, well, where's the search? Sebastian still isn't found. We expect that by at this point, you'd have, data, maps, and you'd have some isolated areas that law enforcement should want to check at this point. And we've got a big old fat 0 from them. We've got them hiding, we've got them lying, and we've got them doing the bidding of Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Do you think Sebastian has a chance in Sumner County of being found with this type of work and work ethic? They bombed the case. I was right in my assessment about this crackpot frickin' law enforcement body. Absolutely accurate. They have done no press conferences. They told the entire world and their community to kiss their ass. They don't have to answer to anyone. And they don't have to solve a case. And all they have to do is arrest anybody that mouths how horrible their work is. Where are the independent searches? Where? I'd like them to say, hey, we looked in this area. Nothing to see over here. We've gotten a big fat 0. We've gotten one person on there. We've only had a week worth of searches. And God forbid you ask the public for help. They don't want no public help because they got this. They got their broom and they got the rug lifted up and they're just sweeping it right up under that rug. That's Sumner County. And I'm not going to believe otherwise. Because they have done the bidding for these nasty ass people. They have failed to arrest them for the clear abuse to this child. And they want to arrest anybody with a loud mouth and a bullhorn. But they don't want to do their flipping job. Not my problem. We're going to keep exposing them. And I don't care if they have to bury me under the jail. I'll dig my way out and we'll still keep exposing these MFers. Get off your ass and start looking for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, Sumner County Sheriff. That's the message from the Bullhorn Betty channel. Come get me. I'm in Florida. I'm pretty sure there's an arrest warrant being typed up as we speak because I think Sumner County is a joke. I think it's a joke. Thank you, Debbie, for the super sticker. God bless you. And our beautiful Lady Roses, thank you, thank you, thank you for the super sticker. And you know what else I find awfully funny? When I start hearing, oh, we're not even done yet. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I thought we were done. We still got more. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Oh, wow. Peggy, thank you so much for the super sticker. God bless you. Our beautiful Lisa B. Walway says, in my opinion, there is a gate behind the brick van from the backyard access and was hidden from the access to the street, allegedly. Brink's van has not moved. That's where the gate is. That's exactly where the gate is. But there's not one on the other side where these lights popped out. So I'm trying to figure out where these lights popped out from. You know, did they climb over the fence? Did they go exit out behind her work truck and walk around that way of the fence? Which is possible because there's a big, huge area there that a large riding lawnmower can get through between their gate and the neighbors behind them gate. There's a big old walkway there. So, yeah. But there's also that secret door. And I keep wondering about that secret door. Does it go, like, I'm almost ready to go pull building plans just to see if they have access to that, because it's driving me that crazy. I'm going nuts over this. Like, I want to know how they got on that side of the house. It's on the opposite side of the house of Sebastian's room. It's on the opposite side of the house. It's actually, I think it's on the opposite side of the house of Katie and Chris. So how do they get out of there without crawling through the window of Faith's room? Did they go out the window? You know? I don't know. I'm sending you what I think is a very important email about the things CP said about him making Sebastian wear pull-ups. Love all y'all, and thank you. Oh, thank you, Alicia. Big hugs and kisses. I hope you're doing well. And this is a big shout out to all of the people that send me emails every day. You guys absolutely keep me looking, keep me searching, keep me still engaged in this in this case. You know, if it wasn't for all of the questions and oddities, I'm not sure that we would be where we are, honestly. Okay, so here's another one of the mob crew. I don't remember what this one was about, but we'll go ahead and pull this one up here and see what this one was about. I know it has something relevant to the show today. We still got a lot more to go through, guys.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. This is going to be really, really quick. So for those of you who do not know, this is about missing teenager Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian Rogers was last seen on February 25th and was reported missing on the morning of February 26th, 2024. Sebastian is 16 years old and is diagnosed with autism conducted during this investigation. However, I think a lot of people jump to the wrong assumptions when it comes to landfill searches. Everyone, or most people, automatically assume that if a landfill is being searched, that means that there was a deceased individual within the landfill. But those aren't the only kinds of searches that are done in regards to landfill searches. Now, foul play, whether it is or is not suspected, doesn't mean unaliving an individual. It could mean any type of malicious intent or activity, i.e. discarding of evidence, hiding anything. Foul play does not automatically mean...
Okay, so I'm going to skip this for
So I think that was where it was. Let me skip.
Certifications come at that. And the same goes for the stepfather, Christopher Proudfoot. I am not at all saying that not a SAR, search and rescue individual. My certifications come through to believe that there was a deceased individual in a landfill out there. So you need to collect everything.
Here it is.
Band-aids, tampons, wraps from wounds, you name it. You want to pull.
So this comes back to what I think that they picked up from the landfill. They picked up something. Okay, we don't know what, but they would have had to collect, those women's items, the stuff and take it and find out if it has anything to do with the case.
Why a lot of teams use the conveyor belt method when doing searches, but I don't believe that cadaver dogs were the main reason for going to this landfill.
I don't think it was the main reason why they went there anyways. I don't think it had anything to do with the cadaver dogs. I think it was, what is it called? SOP, standard operating procedures, that they would had to I've done it. So I figured we would go through some of the videos that I took while I was out there to show you the perspective of the nighttime ride as well as the daytime ride.
I don't want to push buttons. So I can get this. I can't go down any further.
Do I have it already on a different play?
There we go. Yeah, I haven't hit anything and kicked you guys off.
So there's the nighttime view. As you can see how dark it is.
Oh, you guys can see that.
All right, so
It
now
is
I get
dark.
an idea of
Oh,
what those
you can
But
see
it's
it.
not.
lights are between trees. So those would
And there's I blew it up. You can see that there are the cameras.
causing that.
Okay, or not the cameras, the lights from inside.
There's the lights,
of
the ruckus.
Hold on, let me shut this off real quick.
See the garage lights, right?
Those are garage lights. Now, you guys remember that ruckus video that horrible content creator, Gaping Lake, put out? And she did it for clicks and views. And it's like, oh, don't you see it? They're moving something. And when you watch it, it's just the same images over and over again. It looks like somebody's struggling with something, but it's the same struggle over and over and over again. And they never move out of the light. They just struggle and struggle. And so I was like, this doesn't look right. And so everybody's like, oh, there's no trees. It's February and stuff like that. There, believe it or not, there are some trees that still have leaves on it during February. But even without the leaves and just the sticks, there's so much wooded, like a tree right there, that camera has to go through. That with it being on this garage with the lights on the inside of the garage, so there's no lights coming from the outside of the garage to get that shadowing from people stepping between the light and the garage. The garage lights were on the inside of the garage. So the only way you're getting any movement on the outside is if the camera is picking up obstructions between the camera and the light source inside the garage. So the ruckus video is a nothing burger. It doesn't exist. It was a manifestation of somebody's imagination. That's all that was.
There. So we got to turn this off. We're going to see this in a product, and then we'll get out and just walk.
I was going to get out and walk. I'm glad.
Yeah, I decided not to.
I'm glad I didn't get out and walk because of this current situation that we have now. I mean, good gracious. I would have been walking to look at a night perspective and been told I was, but I didn't even leave my car except to post flyers. And I was still accused of stalking people that I literally want nothing to do with. And I have made that known since April. I don't even want to interview these people. They make me sick to my stomach. And they've already been interviewed by everybody and have lied to everybody. I can't stand somebody lying to me. So I'm not even going to get into that argument with them. I wanted nothing to do with them. I didn't want to interview them. I didn't want to speak to them. I didn't want to see them. I wanted nothing to do with it. And of all the people that want nothing to do with these pieces of shit, I'm the one that's accused of stalking them when I went out of my way to make sure I avoided them at all cost. But hey, Sumner County's not doing their bidding for them. Not in the least.
If somebody's garage door is open, I don't mind getting in there when it's just me.
But let's
okay,
move
that's
ahead.
it. Let me turn the light back on.
Let's move on to the daylight view. Hold on, there's got to be a daylight view
there
somewhere.
We go. So let me turn that back on.
This one didn't have the daylight view. That was only the nighttime view. Let me go to this one. This is the daytime view right here.
Around the drainage pond by the stuff, or they wouldn't have been able to get out. That's a ditch right
there. Good gracious. Ah! Good gracious. What is wrong with these freaking systems anymore? Sorry, it just popped me out of... I'm about to break my my mouse. It's going crazy on me. I don't know if it's because of... Okay, let's just go back just a little bit. There it is. Okay, I want you guys to see how deep this culvert is. Look at all the bushes. Now, if you had no knowledge of this area, are you going to be in the middle of the night trying to make your way through these bushes right here? And look how far down it goes. I don't think we have a good perspective of the drop it has. But if you look at this gazebo and you look at the land up here where the tree, the brushes, the shrubbery here is, right? So you see the shrubbery, and you see, look how far down this gazebo is. That's quite a drop. So if somebody came around here, look at their neighbor's fence. All they had to do was walk down the fence. There's their fence right there. You can probably barely see it. Let me pull it this way. Let me show you their fence. See it? There's their fence right there. It's all the way back here in this area right here. You can see their fence. And it goes behind all of these bushes, obscured by any camera. Look at all those bushes and trees back there. And it goes straight down here and around to this side over here. To this side over here. So this is a great perspective right here of where those lights came out. And one of the reasons why I wanted to videotape this one specific area, and mind you, because I taped this specific area and did a nighttime perspective, which is what mom and dad said that this child left in the middle of the night. So it would be derelict of my duties and malpractice for me as a reporter not to want to look at the nighttime view. I think even Nick Barris went out there at night. I wonder why Nick Barris doesn't have a stalking charge against him. Maybe that has to do with the insiders and outsiders, right? Maybe that must have to do with the insiders and outsiders that Eric Craddock, Sheriff Snuggle, Sheriff, likes to remind everybody you're either a voter for him or you're not, right? So that means you either get protected or you don't, depending on whether you can vote for that man in office. So that means everybody that goes and visits this area is put in harm's way because they have a crappy sheriff that only takes care of their residents and nobody else.
The stuff, or they wouldn't have been able to get out. That's a ditch right there. That's a ditch and a culvert. So somebody had to jump down in the culvert, or they had to walk on this grassy knoll. That's probably why they did the zigzag right around the.
No, the zigzag was because they were going behind all these bushes. Now remember, this is in June. When this happened, it was in February, so all these leaves on a lot of these plants were not there at the time, making it a little more viewable than it would be in June when it's a lush foliage. I think that's it. All right, okay. So let's keep going on this one, and then we're going to wrap up. Oops.
The culvert that came right through here, right on the patch right here, because right here is the culvert, and it's deep and it's got water in it. This is the back. This goes to the back of, look at that, right to the Proudfoot's home. The corner of that I'm seeing, there's the Proudfoot's home with the gate in it. So they had to go around the.
So right here is where I truly believe they walked.
I'm seeing. There's the Proudfoot.
So right here is where I believe they walked. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the fence. And this is the secret door. Look how big that door is. That's a pretty, it's as tall, almost as tall as their fence. It's almost as tall as their fence right here. And I truly believe this enters into their bedroom or some other room in the house. I believe it is a crawl space that has access from inside the home. Look how large that is. That is a large crawl space. And this right here is on the outside of their home. There is no gate over here that I could ever find. Some people believe they saw one. I do not see a gate on this side of the house. I do not see it. I've analyzed this footage multiple different angles, from the back side over, from the side over here over, and the only gate is on the opposite side of the house where their cars are parked. But it appears that where the flashlights originated from, I feel like somebody walked right here next to this fence around these trees and over on the other side of the culvert and ditch. That's just my personal opinion at this point. I didn't believe that at first. I thought somebody went out the gate on the other side of the house and walked through this back gate over here, because there's a big, huge patch between their fence and their neighbor's fence that people can walk through. And it's a wide area. It's not a small area. It's wide. It's wide enough for a large riding lawnmower to go through this area between the two fences on the back side of their house.
Fits home with the gate in it. So they had to go around the gate. So the only way they would have been able to go around the gate is through that garage door.
So right here is where they're only, right behind these vehicles here is the gate to their backyard, right here. So I originally thought they came out of this gate here, walked around the side over here by their vehicles because the vehicles would have blocked them from cameras. And I originally believed that they walked back here and walked around this back side of the house. But now that we kind of see where the lights originated from, it really makes me feel like they were that they were coming up.
There's the
right there, that they were coming out on this side of the house. So I don't know how they would be coming out on this side of the house unless they use this door here, which is the secret door. This is their crawl space. Or they crawled over this fence over here. So, I mean, we're still working on the information, but those lights are the reason why America's Most Wanted have attached this foul play to this case. We've all believed that there's foul play in this, and a lot of us may have believed of stranger danger, and we actually theorized that at one point. The problem with the stranger danger aspect of it is this child was isolated. Chris and Katie did not let this child do anything. This child either was home or with them if he was staying at their house. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When he had summer break, he went to his father's house. When he had Christmas break, he went to his father's house. Every other weekend, he went to his father's house. When he was at Katie and Chris's house, he was made to stay inside. He was made to be, either do as I say or have everything that you love taken away and thrown in the garbage. This family was going through a divorce because of this child. I don't believe it was because of this child. I think it's Chris. I think it's always been Chris. I think Chris has got some serious problems with him. I think Katie has some serious problems with her. I think she is messed up from all the abuse she had from her mother. I don't think she knows how to be a mother because of the way her mother treated her. I don't feel that she had any nurturing or the mother connection with Sebastian, because when she had him, most moms want to be there to hold their children, to nurse their children. She ran off to the Navy because she didn't want to have to deal with his medical problems. She left Seth to deal with it. And then we find out that they were married in 2021. And by 2022, after they got married, Chris and Katie started trying to rehome their child as of October of 2022. Literally a year, maybe a year and a half after they were married, they're trying to kick Sebastian to the curb. And when they realized how expensive it was to put him in a home, they couldn't afford it. So what do? They decide they're going to wait for Seth to take him. Then Chris gives Katie an ultimatum. It's either your son or me. They are splitting up. There's text messages going back and forth with them, talking about, I hope you can afford the place by yourself. Saying to Katie, he refused to come home. They refused to share their anniversary. And literally a week and a half after their anniversary that they did not celebrate, Sebastian's gone. Their anniversary was on Valentine's Day, and 12 days later, Sebastian is gone, and he's gone forever. And it happens to be on the very anniversary that Katie filed for divorce from Seth 8 years prior to. Thank you for reminding me about the poll. Let me go ahead over here and check the poll. We got some people that did the poll. Give me a second while it rolls through. So, do you believe the foul play is CP and KP? And 85% of our audience, which was almost 700 votes, 85% of our audience believe they are the foul play. All right, guys, give yourself a hand. You guys were absolutely fabulous today. We usually don't do long lives, but I knew that with this new America's Most Wanted case out, I knew this is something that we really did need to dive into. I hope I've clarified some things for you. And now we understand those lights that everybody tried to say were just trash trucks ends up being the crux of this case. This is a very, very, very important aspect of this case. Why? Because it shows something going on outside of this house with this missing boy. And we've got two parents acting very suspect and suspicious and can't keep their story together, runs away from home in the middle of searches, goes motorcycle shopping when they should be searching for their son, goes to motorcycle rallies when they should be tearing up the earth around their home to find their son. It seems like they already knew he wasn't going to be found. Oh, that's right. Chris told us on multiple occasions they will never find Sebastian. All right, guys, I'm Bullhorn Betty. This is the Bullhorn Betty Show. This is the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Please don't forget to comment on this live if you're on the replay crew. Don't forget to like this live. We cover a lot of different stuff. We do it unafraid. We don't care what type of pushback we get. We don't even care if we go to jail anymore from these yahoos, right? We see what we see. We know what we know, and we know who's doing dirty and for what reason, and that includes the same sheriff's department that is investigating this case. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, kind to one another. God bless you. And everybody that supported this channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think we got a few more. Oh, Patty. Patty became the newest member. Welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club. Brought a friend for a ride. So if you received your gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, please don't forget to tell Patty thank you. And welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room. If you guys want to know where we got that, I used to like Duty Ron. Now I think he's a putz. He got disillusioned by the hate channels, so he's in the hate channels pockets, which means he also works with felons and drug addicts to wield their bidding for him. And so he told me that he said on this that Bullhorn Betty's psycho. All right, bitch, I got your psycho. Now we have the insane asylum. So there you go. There you have it. Thank you for being part of this crazy crew. Patty, again, thank you for being a new member, bringing a friend along, and the super sicker. You guys have a fabulous day. We'll see you back here for Hump Day. See you soon. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America. And more importantly, God bless our victims.